When we first started Lead Church Security, the podcast, the YouTube, and we developed this online curriculum, it essentially came about because, well, I was running a church security team and I was looking for resources, and all I could find were people who were equating church security with active attacker or active shooter. And the deeper you dive into church security, the more clear it is that church security does not equal active shooter
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
or even active attacker for that. There are so many more layers. And that's how we arrived at Lead Church Security. We decided that there ought to be a clear path that people can take in order to arrive at a place that is both inviting and secure, which is what our goal is at Lead Church Security, to help you develop teams in your communities that are inviting. That means people are welcoming. People of all different backgrounds get to come and worship the Creator, but also it's a place that is safe and secure, where kids don't have to worry about becoming victims. People can come and worship God without having to be worried about what's going on in the back of the room. Since starting Lead Security, I've scoured YouTube and Instagram, and there are a few accounts that I can kind of resonate with. And well, one guy that I've actually had the pleasure of meeting and talking with, and even being on a panel with just a couple of years ago, I found that he actually has some videos regarding church security as well. This is John Lovell of the Warrior Poet Society. Now, I haven't watched all of his videos, but I figured today we would take some time to react to at least one of his videos, and maybe in the future, if we like the way this is going, we can do some more with him. Now, before we jump into that, make sure you take some time to like this video if you find some value in it, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. And since we're on YouTube, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the valuable content that we're putting out every single week. Now, let's go ahead and jump into this video.
All right, hey folks, welcome to our series on church security brought to you by Warrior Poet Society. Anybody watching the news or studying any type of data over the last 10 to 15 years regarding active shooter incidents, you'll see that they're on the incline. More and more occurrences are happening each year, and it seems to be each occurrence is bringing in more and more fatalities as active shooters are copying one another and getting more proficient. That's scary. And so a lot of churches, schools have reached out to me to tackle this exact subject. And so I wanted to be able to make this information free and available to you. I just ask that if you find value here, that you would spread the news and go ahead and share these videos with other folks as well.
This is one of the things that I really appreciate about John, and one of the things that we kind of try to mirror with Lead Security is, while he does have a paid subscription to his app where you get a lot more content, he also is very active on YouTube and other social media platforms, which is what we try to do here. We try to give you a ton of resources, tons of tips and tricks, and just some insights and strategies how you can build your teams and how you can provide better church security in your community. So that's one of the things I want to note about John is he does have his paid subscription, which you can be a part of with Warrior Poet Society, but he's also got a lot of valuable free content that he's putting out as well.
Find in these videos is a step-by-step guide so that you can build your own security plan. I found a lot of plans that I've researched out there, while good, a lot of them have that sterile bureaucratic feel, so that they're nice, they feel like they check a block, but there's not really any substance for me, nothing I can sink my teeth into. In effect, they're so bureaucratic they cease to be helpful. And while I'd still urge you to make sure you check out all these different, as much data as you can gather, I wanted to give you a more rubber meets the road in this stuff and give you some practical advice. Now, let me go ahead and say this is not legal advice, and I am not a lawyer. So ensure that as you're planning this, you don't just bring your ninja assassins on board to say, hey, how do we make our congregation safer? You also should consult a lawyer to make sure that your state and your local laws are complied with, that you're safer, and you also don't hurt the culture of your church and how that's uniquely put together.
He's talking about legalities. Not every state is going to have the same laws. So you've got to keep up with your laws. And one of the ways that I suggest people to do this, it sounds really simple, and it is, but one of the things that you'll want to do is just go to Google, type in whatever question that you might have, maybe regarding deadly force or firearms or whatever it might be. Google that and then cross-reference at least 3 sites, and those 3 sites should be from government sites and or attorneys. So you want to find sites, not just some Joe Schmo on a Reddit account that was saying that you can do whatever you want to. Don't trust those kinds of things. You want to make sure you cross-reference at least 3. By cross-referencing, I actually mean you want to make sure 3 different legal sites, government or lawyers, are saying the same thing. Make sure there's no confusion about what is legal and what isn't, so you don't end up in a legal nightmare. This is all good stuff.
I did some church planning stuff and whatnot. So I kind of speak both languages. I can speak church and I can also speak security, which is why I really wanted to jump in and do these videos for you. But back to the element of theology and security. So first and foremost, people will think that security and arming up or protection is akin to faithlessness. By the same logic, you could say, well, we don't need to protect ourselves because God will protect us. You could say, well, we don't need to evangelize anybody. God will save everyone. And while it's true, God saves souls, He still entrusts us with a work. As the proverb says, hey, ready the horse for battle, but the victory lies with the Lord. And so it is with us. We've already seen in the past that God is allowing, active killers to come in and kill His people. We saw the South Carolina incident where it was basically a church Bible study. This guy came in and he shot everybody, killed them. Horrible stuff. There was also the one in the Texas shooting, and the brave Stephen Williford, a congregation member, an NRA instructor, ended up shooting the guy, but not until he had killed and wounded a whole lot of people. These killers are loose in our churches, and some of the people in your congregation are called to be those protectors. From my time,
I think one thing to note here, one of the things that we say at Lead Security is we believe that God is in control, but just because God is in control doesn't give us the right to fall asleep at the wheel. So we believe that God is in control ultimately, and God is our protector, God is our provider, God is all of those things. However, He has entrusted us with the safety and security of our community. You know, pastors are supposed to be like shepherds, right? And sometimes the shepherd needs to use the staff, or he needs to use, like David would use the sling, and not just spiritually chase off like predators, but actually there are literal predators that are out there that are looking for easy victims, easy prey. So I think this is all really good stuff, and so far it's really aligning up with the things that we teach in Lead Security. I do know that John is, I think he was like a Army Ranger, Green Beret, something. He was into Special Forces. So I expect on some level we might not see perfectly eye to eye. But so far, this is all really good stuff, in my opinion.
As a soldier, I've come to think of being a soldier in a good capacity is a holy and sacred profession. And I don't have to work hard to prove that to you. If you look at the Hall of Famers, the Faith Hall of Famers in Hebrews 11, you'll go through the list and how many of those folks engaged in active war. You had King David as well, who was possibly the Bible's greatest worshiper, was also one of the greatest warriors in the Bible. You saw Nehemiah. And Nehemiah was building a wall, and while he's doing the work of the ministry, building the wall, he's also having guards watch, scan, and they've got swords already on them. So they're ready to defend while they're doing the work of the ministry. There was war in Nehemiah's time, and make no mistake, war rages today as well. Some folks are not going to be wanting to think about that, and some people have the luxury of not thinking about it, as long as those people in your congregation, and maybe that's you, who are called to be physical protectors, will be able to allow a safe environment to happen so that the work of ministry will not be interrupted. Theology for security, really, really important stuff. Hope you don't mind I preached at you a little bit. The next thing you'll want to tackle is mission statement. That's something really, really specific to you, so I won't do that for you. But really, when I think of mission statement, I think the church has its overall Great Commission type mission statement. And as a security team member, we really exist so that we can allow the church to accomplish that. So by providing physical security, allowing the church to accomplish the Great Commission. A good, noble mission statement there. The last part is vision, and that's basically gathering all the people of your team and saying, hey, this is what our church security team should look like in the future. This is what we're going for, right? And so this is a great time to set the culture of your team, far goals and near goals, so that everybody's on the same page of where you're at and where you're going.
Piggybacking off of what he was just talking about with mission and vision, you'll hear me say things like developing communities or building communities that are safe and inviting, or secure and inviting. You'll hear me say that a lot, and it's not because I love repetition. I don't say it for the purpose of repetition. I say it for the purpose of importance. I think it's very important for us to know what our mission is as the church security team, and we have to remember that our big goal, or our big calling as believers, that's for everybody, is to reflect the love of God to the world. And sometimes we fall short of that when we put on the security hat, because we feel like we're supposed to be some guy on a tower, just looking out for the predator, and we feel like we have to be like this warrior all the time. Well, I like what John was saying at the beginning of this video, where he was saying he thinks security ought to blend in with hospitality. In my local church, we actually put security with the hospitality team. Our hospitality team is actually a much larger, we call it our HUGS team, which stands for hospitality, ushers, greeters, and security. We also have a silent P in there, which is for parking, but we just kind of keep that one silent. It kind of messes up the whole acronym if we put a P in there.
Yes, that would be knife. Knife.
Anyway, let me know what you thought about this video. There are more videos that John's put out that I would love to react to. If you want to see those kinds of things, let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, if you found some value in it, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If something resonated with you and thought, man, and you're thinking, man, like, I really think my security team leader or my associate pastor would really benefit from this channel, or even just from this video, hit the share button. Make sure people are learning about our channel and we're growing this channel together. Because listen, the purpose isn't just for my local church to be secure and inviting. Our goal is for the church, not just locally, but really worldwide, become more secure and more inviting, so more people can come to know the loving grace that we find through Jesus Christ. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of this video. Thanks for staying to the end. I'll catch you in the next one.